I'll ask you a direct question. How many people do you know who started an agricultural project with enthusiasm and after a year gave up? Probably many. Maybe you've even started something and then abandoned it, or you're about to. It's not your fault, it's not their fault, but there's a mistake that practically everyone makes at the beginning. A mistake that seems harmless, that actually seems like the most logical thing in the world, but it's precisely this mistake that destroys 90% of agricultural projects before they even really begin. For those who don't know me, let me introduce myself. I am Alessandro De Luca, co-founder of Rendita Agricola, and together with my wife Valentina, we've guided over 3,000 students in building their agricultural income from self-sufficiency to achieving full activity. So we help people to create freedom and independence with agriculture. And in these years, we've seen this mistake repeat itself hundreds, thousands of times. The good news, once you see it, it's very simple to avoid and it will completely change your approach to agriculture. So stay with me because what I'm about to tell you could save your project. We're talking about a mistake that seems like the most logical thing in the world. In fact, if I don't tell you, you'd probably do it too. Or maybe you have already done it, but it's not a problem. We can fix it. So let me tell you the typical pattern we always see. A person decides to start. Maybe they want food self-sufficiency, maybe they want to build an income, maybe they simply want their own garden. And what do? What we would all do, what seems logical. They research, buy some books, for example, or watch some videos, read articles, no? Then they find land, maybe they rent it, maybe they already have it. And here the enthusiasm starts. Okay, this year I'll do everything. They buy seeds for tomatoes, zucchini, eggplants, peppers, lettuce, green beans, and then, but I also want fruit, so they get a cherry tree, a pear tree, maybe some berry plants. 10, 12, 15 different crops all together in the first year. Summer arrives, the heat, the plants need constant attention, each crop with its needs, its timing, its problems. Tomatoes want one thing, zucchini another, eggplant yet another. This person starts going to the land every evening, 2 hours, 2.5 hours every day, watering, checking, trying to understand what's wrong. The zucchini cooked something, the tomatoes too, the eggplants aren't producing. After a month they are tired, after 2 months they are exhausted, and in September they quit. Too much work, too much stress, too little results. And I see it, we see it constantly. Motivated people who hit this wall and give up. But you know what's absurd? These failures aren't due to lack of effort, bad luck or bad weather. They are due to an approach error. An error everyone makes because it seems like the right thing to do. The error is this, and listen carefully. People start by doing too much without an overall vision. I'm not just talking about quantity, I'm talking about approach. You see, most people think like this. I want to farm, so I plant some things. But agriculture isn't planting things. Agriculture is building a system, an ecosystem that works, that sustains itself, that produces. And when you don't have a method, when you don't know how to design this system, you end up doing what everyone does. You copy. You copy what you have seen done, what you read in books, what the neighbor says. The result? Hodgepodge of crops without logic. Too much work, too many problems, no sustainability, not for the soil, not for you, not for the wallet. And after a few months, you quit, like 90% of those who start. But there's another way, a way I discovered after years of mistakes, attempts, study. A way that's not just cultivation technique, but a complete approach to how you really build an agricultural activity. We call it the BSC Method. BSC stands for Biosynergistic Conscious. And no, it's not another cultivation technique. It's not only organic, it's not synergistic as you might understand it. It's a complete method for designing and managing an agricultural activity that really works 360 degrees. The fundamental problem is that traditional agriculture teaches you technique. It tells you plant like this, fertilize like this, harvest like this, but it doesn't teach you how to think. The BSC method starts from a different premise. Every soil is unique, every person is unique, every goal is unique. So you can't copy, you must design. And designing means starting with the right questions. Not what do I plant, but what can I do in this specific soil with these resources, in this climate? How do I build a system that gives me real results without becoming a slave? How do I make sure the soil works for me, year after year, improving instead of worsening? And above all, how do I make all this sustainable for the environment, for me as a person? I don't want to die in my land. And for my wallet, because sustainability doesn't just mean not use chemicals. It means the system must hold up over time on all fronts. A garden that requires 3 hours a day isn't sustainable. You exhaust yourself. An activity that costs more than it heals isn't sustainable. You close. Land that you exploit without regenerating isn't sustainable. In a few years, it no longer produces. The BSC method works on all these aspects simultaneously. It's not just agronomy, it's soil biology, yes, but it's also time management, it's also economics, it's also marketing when needed. When I started 13 years ago with saffron, I didn't have this method. I made all the mistakes. I wanted to do too much. I didn't understand the system logic. I was exhausting myself. Then I started thinking differently. I started designing instead of copying. I built a system that worked for me, for my land, for my goals. And today I have a company that generates over 3,000 euros per month that I manage from Portugal. That requires very little time because I designed it to be sustainable. I only have to go to Italy, to my farm, 2-3 times per year. I delegated that because I know how to systemize everything. But it's not just my story, it's the story of hundreds of our students who applied this method. Maybe someone doesn't want to delegate the farm. It's not important. You can choose. This is the freedom. This is the independence. You can choose what you want from your land. Or even not from your land, because there are a lot of activities that you can do without the land. But we are going to tell about that another time. So, and this system works whether you want self-sufficiency or economic income. Now, I know you might be thinking, okay, Alessandro, but does this method really work? Yes, it works, and I'm not the only one saying it. Hundreds of our students who made it say it. In these years, we've gathered over 3,000 people, and those who succeeded, those who today have productive gardens, established agricultural activities, real income, they all applied this method. We have hundreds of public testimonials also here on YouTube, especially in our Italian channel on YouTube that's called Rendita Agricola, or in Instagram you can find Rendita Agricola. We have an Italian channel that is very much followed. The testimonials talk about how they understood how to design, how to choose, and how to finally build a system that works. There are those who started only with, saffron, designed with the BSC method, and after 3 years they have an activity that gives them a salary. There are those who learned to design their garden for self-sufficiency, and today they produce for themselves and also sell at the local market. There are people who sell microgreens and they produce these microgreens in their garage, like 10 square meters, to earn more than 2,000 euros per month. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's method. It's knowing how to design an agricultural system that really works, that make you free. And the beautiful thing, it works for everyone. Whether you want self-sufficiency or economic income, whether you are 30 or 60 years old, whether you're starting from scratch or already have experience. The method remains the same, design, not copy. Now, I certainly can't teach you the entire BSC method in a 15-minute video, but I can give you an idea of how it works so you understand if it's for you. The method always starts with study. Not study in general, but specific study of your soil, your resources, your constraints. You have to think about 6 areas. The first one is your vision, what you have to achieve, what you want from your project. Then you have to think about your economics, so how to manage your finance to create your project. Then you have to think about marketing and selling products. So how you have to promote yourself, how you have to promote your business, how you have to create the perfect offer for your target market, and everything on marketing and selling. Then you have to think about KPIs, so the key performance indicators, no? So what you have to control to be sure that your project stay in the right path. And then, not at the end, but the 6th area is cultivation. So which kind of cultivation or activity I have to do to achieve my goal. Okay, this is the 6 areas that we work on BSC method. Then, when you have a perfect idea of these 6 areas and you can understand your resources and your goal and everything, we can go to design. So we don't plant randomly, we design the system, what I put, where I put it, how it interacts, how much time it requires, how much it costs, how much it yields before starting. And we are going to put everything in these 6 areas and we create a perfect action plan. Then, third, real sustainability. So 360 degrees, not just I don't use chemicals, but does this system hold up over time for the soil, for me, for the wallet? If the answer is no, we don't do it. So we are gonna check if everything we decided in our project step is sustainable in these 3 areas. So for the soil, for me and for the wallet, if the answer is no, we don't do it. If the answer is yes, we are gonna do it. And fourth, flexibility. There are no dogmas. It's always been done this way is not an argument. A lot of farmers say, it's always been done this way. It's not an argument. We don't talk about that. We choose the right techniques for the specific context. This is the heart, but there is much more, of course. There is the part on soil biology, how to make it work for you. There's the part on time management, how to free up hours instead of losing them. There's the economic part, how to make sure all this is also financially sustainable. And when you want to sell, there is also the marketing and valorization part. So because the best product in the world, if you don't know how to sell it at the right price, is useless. In short, it's really a complete method from soil to market, from soil to freedom. If you like what I told you, if you understood that the problem isn't you, but the approach, I have good news. In the description below, you will find a link to explore the BSC method further. You will find detailed information on how it works, on how we apply it, and if you want, also how you can learn it. I'm not selling you anything in this video, I'm just telling you, if you keep doing what you have always done, you'll get the results you've always gotten. If you want different results, you need a different approach. It's simple. And the BSC method is the approach that has worked for thousands of people, and it can work for you too. Go to the description, click the link, read calmly, watch the testimonials, see if it's for you. There's no rush. If instead you have questions, write them in the comments, I respond personally, and if this video was useful to you, leave a like please. It helps other people find this information, because agriculture can be beautiful if you know how to do it. Thanks for your attention and see you on the next video.